Welcome everyone to my last ever FIFA 22 video. And while it is sad that FIFA 22 is over, at least we do have FIFA 23 to look forward to. But at the same time, still want to look back at all the success and fun that I had while making all these FIFA 22 series. And I decided what better way to end it than with my best 11 of FIFA 22. Now, obviously, there's always team of the season for all the respective leagues and just players overall. So it gave me the idea to do this, and something I'm probably going to do heading into the future, but just really wanted to do this. And we're going to be starting off with the goalkeeper and the defense. Boyce Clark, bought him for just under $1 million in my first ever FIFA 22 series, the Barrow Road to Glory, and pretty much was chasing a replica of him the entire journey along the way there. He had, I think, 81 potential, but with dynamic potential, he ended up being, I believe, an 89 overall. So, really got me into the whole, okay, dynamic potential is something that actually really works in FIFA 22. And it was just a rock. I mean, it was just so nice for that first series to not even have to think about having to replace goalkeeper. Could just go out there and do what we needed to do. At left back is Meyer from the Borussia Dortmund 2 Road to Glory. From the youth academy upward, I had defensive back development plan on him. Excellent defender from day one. He was also decently quick. Didn't really go forward all that much, but never really needed him to, because absolute lockdown defender, could always count on him. A little bit. I think the only reason I didn't switch him to center back is I believe he was 5'6", so a little undersized for me to truly want to switch him to that center back position. But overall, excellent defender. And Klosterman is the first of, I believe, two players where overall was never the highest, but it was more the impact and legacy that I felt from them heading forward. So I signed Klosterman in my Cambridge United 3.0 Road to Glory, where I had to use a back three. And if you guys have paid any attention to any of the videos I've made, I don't really use a back three all that often. I occasionally do it, but that's usually just because of how good the offense is and how much of a waste it would be to have for the back. But I can't really defend, and never really have, so I always use a 4-back, occasionally a 5-back. So I had to sign him, and he was I think he was an 84 overall. Like, he never really impressed overall-wise, but there was just something about him. He was just very quick, always was in the right position to make an interception or block a shot. Whatever it was, I could just always count on him. And the next, center back Stevens for the Sidemen FC Creative Club Career Mode Series. From the youth academy upward, he started off as a defensive mid, but switched him to a center back very quickly because he's 6'4", 6'5", I believe. Proper Brexit center back, would go in there, crunching tackles, clear the ball away with ease. Sometimes would go up in the offense, just kind of go for a little run, but mainly stayed back and just destroyed anybody in his path. And the right back is McAvoy, right back for my Stevenage Road to Glory, but he also doubled as a defensive midfielder, pretty much the Irish Philip Lahm. When we needed him in that defensive mid position, you put him right in there. He did his job, but really found his calling as a really attack-minded right back. Could not have asked for anything better from him. Excellent job from him. And now moving on to the midfield, which was really tough because I needed. So obviously, I think it was the Champions or FIFA Team of the Season where they played like a 3-3-4. So I wanted to keep, this formation realistic, and so that way I just didn't have eight strikers and wingers and 2 center backs and 1 outside back. So it was really tough in the midfield because I haven't really ever used a holding midfielder. So trying to figure out which of these 3 is the most true center midfielder, I ended up with Luku, center mid for the Real Sociedad B Road to Glory. He joined the club as like a 62 overall from the youth academy, preloaded in player, and I took quite the gamble. I took quite the risk playing him early on. The team was lower 60 or higher 60s, lower 70s at the time. Was kind of making a little bit of a push for a promotion, but it really wasn't the biggest concern. But I played him because I thought there was something special about him. High work rate naturally. He's very quick. Never really lost the ball. Would always make the good pass, but at the same time you could go up there in the box. He could finish. He could play as a 10. He could play as a 6. He could play as an 8. Really just a stud for the team. And left center mid, Reynoso is another one of those players like Klosterman, the two where overall wise was never the highest, but was so important because he was in my Minnesota United career mode series, which is pretty much shaped what I'm going to be doing in the future. I'll get to that later in the video, but in the MLS, obviously you don't always have the greatest of players, the best of players, and there's so much turnover with release clauses and players just want to go to head over into Europe. And I only played for one. I played one season. I played every single game, and Reynoso was the consistent player. I believe he led the league in goals and assists. He was all over everywhere, whether that be playing as an attacking mid, playing as a center mid. I think I even put him out wide for a game or two. Played him as a false nine a couple of times. Wherever I put him, he just continued to impress me and really make me proud of him. But I don't know if there's any player that I am more proud of than Tierno Ballo. Believe got him from RB Salzburg, but I think that's where he is now in real life. I think he was from a different Austrian club when I first bought him, but bought him for one. I think I was also under $1 million, potential like 76, 77. He started out wide on the right mid position, moved him to attacking mid. He was a center forward at one point. He was a center mid at one point, back to the attacking mid. Ended up being 93, 94 overall, best player in the world. Absolute stud. Very, very quick and very, very good on the dribble. Passing was always there, but it wasn't a strong suit. Same goes for defending and shooting. Just was very good at just getting into the right opportunities. And then, I mean, if you're in a good enough position, you should just be able to make a decent pass and decent shot. But really, him along with Boyce Clark really opened me up to the idea of dynamic potential, really working in FIFA 22, and actually encouraged me to buy some lower rated players. And this front three is so good. So we'll start on the left with Karamoko Dembele, but he also could have played on the right. He really just kind of played everywhere for me in the Simon FC Creative Club Career Mode series. I mean, he's Karamoko Dembele. He pretty much carried the team from the very beginning. I think like the first 5 seasons, he was by far our stud player. Then he had two-ish off seasons, then a good season, then just kind of a normal season. Because those first couple of seasons, with how quick he was, and I was just lobbing balls in behind for him. Then once we got to the Premier League, things kind of catch up. Players a lot better, faster, stronger. So then I moved him from the right, where he was just Iron Robin type thing, cutting in behind, scoring goals like Mo Salah. Moved him to the left mid position and a little bit in the midfield to kind of use his playmaking abilities. Then ended up eventually using a 4-4-2 for our last kind of full season, and he was on that left providing goals, whether that be through actually shooting them and scoring them or assisting them. And right wing is Deprez. Borussia Dortmund 2 Road to Glory. This dude, he was a center forward, but he started off as right mid, so I decided, you know what, it's just easier to do a 4-3-3 when figuring out who to put on this team, so I'll put him there. He really surprised me many, many, many times. I mean, he joined as a Belgian. He's just another one of those tall, good dribblers you get from the youth academy that you have no clue how any of them are actually going to play in game. But whatever it was, his shooting was never really all that high, but he scored the most magnificent of goals. He was constantly scoring goals left, right, center. He was our center forward. He was our main offensive motor for many, many seasons, and he helped carry us to Champions League glory. And might be a little bit of recency bias, but I have decided to go for Stewart from the Steve Niger Road to Glory up top, just because of the journey that he took, joining the team from the youth academy. He went on loan for a little bit, started was a winger at one point, then he moved on to that striker position, then he was a secondary striker, he played as a center forward. He really just kind of did it all because I think he ended up with 99 pace, and obviously that is huge in really just the effectiveness of the player, but also excellent dribbler, and he could score from almost any angle. And he did nothing for us. I think it was the first 3 seasons where I didn't even think about him, but that 4th season, I believe it was, really took over and really helped carry us to glory. So yeah, this is the team best 11 of FIFA 22, and kind of just say what a team it is. I mean, it's also a pretty interesting team. I mean, we have a very good mixture of bot players as well as youth academy players, because that was one thing I was really concerned about when making this, because you guys know I love to use the youth academy. I got really scared that it was only going to be a Youth Academy Best 11. And then I was thinking, ooh, what if I do a Youth Academy Best 11 and normal Best 11? But I just decided it was just going to be easier just to do a all-around, broad scope Best 11. And this is the team that I went with, and I'm going to watch back this video probably at the end of FIFA 23 and probably compare the teams. That'll open up a whole other can of worms. So don't expect this to be the last time that you see this team. But yeah, now I wanted to get into FIFA 23. Obviously, I don't know when you're seeing this, but FIFA 23 doesn't come out at the time of recording this for a month and a half. So I don't know. I kind of know what I'm going to do. And like I said, with the Minnesota United career mode, I think I'm going to end up doing monthly career mode episodes. Obviously, certain months are going to be different. So, June and July will probably get linked together. August should end up being a month on its own, but, depending on where I go, things might just be a little bit different. And I also plan to play 2 games an episode, so they should be about 8 minutes long in length. That's kind of what I'm thinking, 8 to 10. Something might be a little bit shorter, Who knows if I'm going to be scoring, the game's going to be 7 to 5 in FIFA 23. No one has a clue. There could be a lot of 2-1 games. No one knows. But that's how I think I'm going to end up doing it. That way, I can also get more videos out more frequently. And plan is kind of in December and January, maybe even February, along with all my Madden content, maybe put out like 2-3 videos a day across all, main channel, FIFA channel, the JTB3 channel. But as well as, I think that'll be enough time. I'll be playing enough games to also collect enough clips. And the biggest thing that I have always felt weird with Road to Glories and career modes is Road to Glories, be pure objective, is just to get to the end, win the Champions League for me. But then that does leave some issues because all these Youth Academy players that I'm promoting pretty much after the 4th season, I'm never going to see again, never going to use again, and could care less about. And obviously that's pretty boring. So I wanted to do the monthly career mode where, I get a chance to, it's middle of March, we're in the Premier League. I just promoted, a 5'4" striker from Bolivia who's got 5-star weak foot and excellent pace. You know what? Let's put him in a game. Let's see what he can do. So just kind of want to get, and also would get more attached to more players than just probably 4 or 5. Like when I was going through trying to make the best 11s, I couldn't even remember, like Meyer, I could not remember his name to save my life. Klosterman, I really struggled to find out, who's that next center back that I need. Right back was easy, center back easy, goalkeeper easy. And then the front line, there's probably players who played better, but I just don't remember them, don't remember their names. So that is pretty much what I think I'm going to be doing for FIFA 23. Going to be a lot of content coming out, probably a week after the game's out, so I have a chance to edit, record, and then upload it. So it might take me a week or 2 to kind of get through things, because I'll also be in college at the time. So, but I will be making FIFA 23 videos. Can't wait to see you guys then. And also check out all my different FIFA channels. I got, main channel, I have my clips channel, and I have JTB FIFA, I have JTB3, and JTB FIFA clips. So, doing a lot, hoping to really take a big step forward with Madden 23 and FIFA 23. Hopefully you guys will support me. I hope to see you guys for the first video of FIFA 23. And it is JTB signing off.